Let's learn the story of the Thing in Marvel Rivals. The Thing. Gangs of Yancy Street. The Thing is fighting off vampires on Yancy Street, the street he grew up on before he turned to stone on a spaceship. After he finished fighting some vampires, he heard a civilian yell out from a window, "Go home, you big lug!" Tomatoes splattered across Ben's stony shape, as many people from apartments tossed down tomatoes that they seemingly saved for this very instance. "Thanks for the sauce. Got any pasta or fine bread to toss at me?" "A guy your size doesn't need that many carbs." "Can't blame a guy for trying to get a free bite." A third voice joined in. "If you see any vamps down there, tell them the Yancy Street gang ain't no one's dinner." "That's what I'm trying to do," Ben whispered under his breath. A little while down the street, Ben runs into a kid being cornered by a vampire. The kid puffs out his chest to look tough when Ben comes around. Ben rushes up and wallops the vampire down cold. "I told you, lousy fangers. We kids have friends in high places." "Oh, so now we're friends." The kid and Ben make some small talk. The kid is part of a Yancy Street spy organization ran by the children. Ben is looking for T'Challa, who came here from the intergalactic empire of Wakanda to help out New York City, but he never arrived. The kid told Ben that someone saw vampires in organized fighting routines. They seemed to be under the rule of some king, and maybe he should check there. So Ben follows the directions, and he does see vampires doing exactly what the kid told him, and he recognizes the fighting style. It's just like Black Panthers. The vampires finish their training, and Ben follows them to an abandoned building. He politely knocks on the door. Nobody answers, and then Ben barges in. Inside, he is greeted by T'Challa. They discover that T'Challa's spirit plane has protected him from being completely taken over by the vampirism curse, and he is able to control other vampires nearby. T'Challa brought one heart-shaped herb from Wakanda. This should cure vampirism, and he brought it so that they could reproduce it to save the city. But Ben convinces T'Challa to take it himself. They can find more heart-shaped herbs later, but right now, they need T'Challa at full potential. After T'Challa takes the heart-shaped herb, he transforms back to normal. But the vampires he was controlling turn on him, and they love the smell of heart-shaped herb blood. Ben tells T'Challa to cover Ben in the blood to divert the attention away from Black Panther. His plan works. "Don't hurt them," T'Challa calls. These were innocent civilians, and while under T'Challa's control, they have not damaged anyone. Ben smacks the ground and knocks all of the vampires out. The building starts crumbling around them, and Ben urges T'Challa to escape. But T'Challa will not leave the vampires here to die. "You won't have to," Reed Richards says as he appears in the doorway with a small device. T'Challa recognizes it as a miniature time stream reintegration device. He activates the machine, and the rubble the building has caused floats back into its structures, fixing itself. They turn to T'Challa and see his fangs grow back as the vampire curse takes hold of him once more. If that turned him back to the vampires, then maybe they all look back to where the vampires once were and see them as normal human beings. "You have saved them," T'Challa says. "And now it's time to save you," Reed replies. "There is no one in this universe, or any other, that I trust to do the job more than you." Ben looked at T'Challa in utter disbelief. "After all we've been through, yeesh, what's a guy gotta do to get a little respect?"